Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy
Yo, what's up? It's Mad Chiller FPV here, bringing you another episode of Goon Squad Presents Between Two Props. Tonight, we are incredibly fortunate to have Team BQE with us to discuss all things BQE. Plus, a little while later, we'll be doing the giveaway. You just saw the slide. And before I start, I want to just shout out my son, whose birthday was 2 days ago. Happy 23rd birthday, Jaden Miller, a.k.a. Little Mad Chiller. I love you very much. I want to plug the protest in D.C. on the 29th. If you're not hip, there's a link in the description. Helpsaveourhobby.com. Link is in the description. Check that out. And really quickly, run down some shout-outs. Of course, each and every time, shouting out BQE multi-rollers and Bill Brissette. Team BQE, motherfucking Bot Grinder, Wombat FPV, Old Gravy Leg, West Side, Bone FPV, Pimp Hop, Bashers United. Want to shout out our friends, Fat Straps, Say Andrea, Ready Made RC, the motherfucking UFDA crew, Project Zen, Rate My Rip, FPV Builders, Quad Chat with Jake and Kat, Quad Mods, Emu Flight, Kiss and Wolf OSD, Team Black Sheep, APD, and of course, all the goons and goonies worldwide and our families. Thank you. And you guys here each and every time supporting us. Thank you much. Mad love. And with that, over to the goons. What's up?
What's going on, brother?
Partridge in a
Howdy,
pear
bud.
tree.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, thank you for being here, man.
Ton of people in the shed tonight, man. We've got, of course, our fellow goon Vice over here. Red 5 showing up for us tonight, man. What's going on? And then for the BQE team, man, we got West Side, we got Old Gravy, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bill Brissette, the man behind BQE.
Thank you. And we've had a few other guys coming and going due to various little technical challenges, so you never know who might still jump in tonight. Bill, what's going down, man? Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Like, how did you get into FPV? What made you get into building frames and designing frames, producing frames?
Well, I got into FPV by accident. I really didn't know that I was looking for a hobby, and I had avoided RC hobbies for a long time just because I knew I would get sucked in. And I picked up a little toy drone. I got into micros first from that and started putting FPV gear on little small drones right around the time, like before Tiny Whoop got coined. And everyone was putting stuff on Inductrixes and little hub sand drones and stuff. And as I started maturing out of, the micro toy stuff and looking at what frames are out there, I immediately started gravitating to like the smaller designers and checking out like the stuff people were making by themselves,
Right.
I was really into stuff I was finding on RC groups. And I think RC groups was great back then. It was just like 2015, 2016. And then I started flying in Red Hook, and one day I showed up at a spot that I had been flying in. I had my brand new FPV monitor. I didn't even have goggles yet. I just had a monitor, and I was about to get out of the car, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I can pick up like anything else. Flipped on the monitor, and there was like someone flying FPV on one of the channels. It turned out that turned out to be Andy.
Oh, no shit.
Andy Hahnemann,
right?
He now works at DRL, but like that was me meeting the first pilots, and I met like a whole bunch of guys from the Stay Fly crew. Zafar was there, Ricky Roman, Mike Wash, all those guys were there. It was great. Like they had a big posse just flying this field in Red Hook, same field I flew with you,
right?
But just years earlier, and so I started driving up to Queens to fly, and I was watching those guys break stuff all the time. And expensive stuff, they were like, Zafar was really into voodoo, and those weren't cheap frames, you know. And I was like, we got to be able to figure out a way to do this better or do it cheaper.
Right.
And so I started working on some designs. Like the first design was sort of the predecessor of the Pixel. It was like a micro that was a brushed micro with a 150 milliwatt video transmitter and a SiSky board. And in some ways, like SiSky was like a lighter board than some of the Whoop boards today. Even that was like a really nice little board, but 1S, you know, like same size as Pixel. And then I wanted to work on bigger stuff and design the 210. And I got 6 cut just for myself. And the first time I showed those guys in Queens, like half of them were like out of my bag. They just wanted them. And so, yeah, we just started playing with ideas and growing it. For a long time, it was just the 210 and the Pixel. And then I started working on other frames to meet other motor sizes and carry different loads. But I've always wanted to get back to working with my hands since, you know, back in the late 90s, I started working in graphics. But before that, I always made a living with my hands. I was a furniture maker. I went to school for product design, and I studied with like people who were pretty awesome product designers and architects at the time, and got to work on a lot of awesome projects. But living in New York City, it was really hard to make a living designing furniture.
Right.
And it was backbreaking work to build scenery and sets. Like, so after finishing a really big project, I built the set for MSNBC and had gone on air, like holding the teleprompter cable while Brian Williams was announcing the first words on that network. And when that project was over, everyone got laid off, and it was going to be like a couple months without work. And someone offered me an internship in an ad agency, and I just dove into graphic design. So
Right.
that was kind of took me away from working with my hands for years. And then just, you know, I had a couple different experiences that led to making it an easy transition into designing like for CNC. Because I also, after I left advertising, I worked in a sign shop for a while because a friend of mine needed a graphic designer, and got to run their CNC machine for about a year. And that was a large scale machine. We did a lot of large, like full size 6-8 foot letters for signage across New York City. And that was really my introduction to CNC.
That's wicked. So I met you, when I met you, you had just released the SX3, right? That was...
Yeah, that was like a 3-inch frame, Stretch X. It had this really heavy 90-degree arms that had little cavities for the receiver and LEDs to go into.
Yeah, I still have mine. Do you have any left? I'm just curious, actually.
Yeah. I have those, and then we've updated it to be a unibody.
Right. And
then there's a couple variations floating around, but I definitely have those, a bunch of them.
That's amazing.
The SX as a Stretch X for 1407 size motors, it's still a great frame. Mm-hmm. It fits, you know, you could fit a full-size camera or a micro mini camera, like anything fits in there. And there's plenty of room. It had a 20 by 20 and well, initially it only had a 20 by 20 stack. I think the current unibody model can fit both. It's a great race frame for like a heavy racer. It's not really in the vein of today's toothpicks, but it's with the right motors, it performs awesome.
Right,
dude, they're dope. That's the SX3U. I didn't know. I was like, wait, does this really have like indents so I can put LEDs in it?
I love my 3U. I have, yeah, it's one of my favorite 3-inch frames, period. Aside from the Beefy 3, but which will always have a special place in my heart. So
yeah, I mean, people don't really know this story, but like when I did meet Chad, like he was just starting to get into 3D printing. And he was really instrumental in bringing the Pixel to market, because at the time I wasn't doing any 3D printing. Chad did all that printing and did a really great job. You know, all my first orders going out to retailers were all printed by Chad. And, you know, he and I worked really closely together in New York, like on a few designs. You know, we never really got the Beefy 3 to market, but it was mostly just because it was so hard to repair. Like, it was like a very tight build. The cables are all hidden. And it's,
I have mine.
I mean, seeing Chad rip it was great. I mean, that guy really, knows how to throw that thing around, and it's streamlined, so it really flies where you point it. But yeah, it was just so hard to repair. There was so few 20 by 20 stacks that actually fit in it perfectly, and even over time, there's no standard set for 20 by 20 stacks. They're all different sizes and shapes, and this like really contained it tightly. So, you know, I have frames. If someone really wants to build one, get in touch. But I have carbon cut. It's beautiful. 3-inch, 3mm, and 4-inch, 4mm frames.
This thing is insane. I have to just say, this is out of any 3-inch I've ever owned or flown, this is the most insane thing. I remember people used to comment because I would just rip it 100% throttle for like 8 minutes straight, and people couldn't understand it. It weighs like what it was a weight. It weighs like 100 and some change, 150, I think, the way this one's set up. But
yeah, I think yours is pretty light.
It's like
you
weighs
have
nothing.
Big motors on it.
Yeah, and then he's have his T motors.
What board are you running on it?
Dude, this has got an old omnibus in it, dude. It's like an old omnibus at probably an F3.
Those are totally solid boards, man.
It still flies. It's
they're great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I still got some F3s and F4s.
It was a pain in the ass though, because at the time there was a serious limitation in VTXs. And remember TBS, I still have, and it works kind of, but I have a prototype TBS Nano in here that did like, what did it do? Like it was supposed to do like 400.
400, yeah.
But this was before they released it, because when they released this, who's that? Who's in? We have somebody on voice.
It's Bone, but I'm trying to figure out how to get on video.
You gotta
have to start
your
over.
phone number off as well.
Yeah, your phone number is totally going live.
Good time, call.
For a good time, call Bone.
If you're using the phone app, Bone, I think that when you call in, it's different than videoing in, and it's an option when you first start the call.
There are multiple links, yes.
Yeah, click on where it says Zoom. Click. Oh, he's gone. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't know why your links come through and it has like a bunch of phone numbers to call, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to call from Argentina.
I can send just the other one, dude. But I was saying is this thing. So Bill and I we tested these fucking TBS VTXs, and then they released it, and it was only 150 milliamp, I think, or something. And we were kind of like, actually, we were bummed.
It was 50.
Yeah, it was 50.
The first one they released was 50.
Right.
But I mean, you pulled the pads off yours
twice, I think. Yeah.
You know, it was hard to test it, but
it was hard to build.
They're pretty popular now.
Oh, dude, yeah. So I need to actually upgrade this one with the new Nano, and it would be perfect. I did catch one of these on fire, or I mean, I caught this on fire once. I had to actually reprint the whole top end because I caught it on fire. Because the ESCs back then, the 20s were so unreliable, dude. I blew like I don't even know how many like in various crashes, and then one day it caught fire, and it was just this melted glob of TPU and camera, and I was just like, oh man.
I mean, they were rated for 20 amps, but they didn't think that you were just going to hold your throttle up the whole time.
It was so much fun though, man. I mean, people would be bugging. They're like, dude, are you serious? Like, isn't your pack gonna fucking blow up? And I would come in, I would be at like fucking storage voltage. It was hilarious.
Well, you remember that day we were flying at that little tiny loop and there was dog poo everywhere? And there was like, you had a gate set up and you like picked up the gate with a 3-inch and flew around with it because like you hit it so hard. You know, it was like we spent most of the day setting up the gate over and over again because we just kept smashing
it to pieces.
But that was like, you know, for a 3-inch to take that was we were pretty psyched that day. It was fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've still got some old footy I think from back then that I should probably dig up. But
sure.
those are great times too. So where do you see? So you've got this team here, Bill. Tell us about your team. Like, what's going on here,
these guys are the best. I don't. These guys are. I don't even know what to say really. I love these guys, and they provide me so much feedback and support. It's amazing. And all these guys are people who I've seen and admired in the community, the way they've handled themselves, and they each lead the way for others in a lot of different ways. And I really appreciate having them as part of BQE. I really couldn't do it without these guys. It's such a diverse team. Like everyone's from such different backgrounds, And I think that's part of what like really makes it special for me is just like knowing that like none of us would have known each other if it wasn't for FPV.
Right.
I mean, even Gravy lives down the street basically from where I grew up, and I probably still wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for FPV.
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't, you know. And like the only reason I met him, I think, is because I saw one day he posted that he was going to fly a tiny whoop at a concert in Brockton, and I was like, wow, that's my buddy's at that concert, you know. And so I sent my buddy to go say hi to him, and like, you know, I think that was like how we ended up chatting online, you know.
Yep.
Because I wanted my friend to see what a tiny whoop was, you know,
Exactly.
because he didn't know what FPV was at all.
Right.
You wanted me. You wanted to see. You wanted him to see me one way whoop the thing into the Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah, that's basically that's right. It was Dropkick.
Am I here? Did I make it?
What's up, dude?
Yeah,
What up?
That's in the
Yeah.
house, man.
We got Wombat, we got Bone.
It's probably gonna
Oh,
break.
Bone's here too. That's great.
I'm excited.
Well, I don't want you to miss where I just said how much I love you guys. So I'm glad that you guys made it. What's up, Brian?
Dude, I'm glad to be here.
Love you.
I'm
Brian, turn your phone sideways.
Like this?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Cool.
Much
Fuck
better.
yeah.
So this is hot.
hell
This
yeah.
is like, I think the only time I've seen this many of the team together. This is so hot. Like
Oh, hot fire.
hot fire, hot fire. Make me horny.
That's great.
Wow.
So
And Brian's OG. Brian was like the original gangster, man. Brian won a frame in a
oh
Yep.
yeah.
and like became a huge supporter, and like, you know, just like it was great. Like his enthusiasm really drove me when I was like really no one knew what BQE was. So yeah, I'm so happy to still have Brian on the team, and like
Fucking awesome.
everything he's been doing up there, like, you know, the shoots he was getting into and all the mountain stuff he was doing is great. It's awesome.
We lost Wombat again.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Fucking, it's been amazing to watch BQE grow, to be a part of it, and to, you know, help, you know, in my little ways personally, you know, and I just can't thank you enough, Bill, for for bringing me in and being my friend, and fucking all the shit we've done together has
hell
been
yeah,
fucking amazing, dude. And, you know, I'm just like, I'm getting gushy. I'm so excited to have you guys here, man. Like, this is amazing. So like, so you just released some frames, right?
Yeah, a bunch of frames I've been sitting on for a little while, and we released a new bot frame, bot AFX banger on Christmas Day, which turned out to be like probably not the best day to launch a frame, but it was a lot of fun. You know? But yeah, so we're probably gonna do some like more push marketing for it, like coming up soon, just because I think a lot of people missed that we launched it, but it's been selling really well. And just today, like, you know, Surge signed on to bring those into Pyroflip, so those will be in stock over there next week.
Nice.
And we also released a new version of the 3AF, which I have one here. This is like a long body version.
Nice.
It's a long body version of the 3AF, and that allows you to have 3 stacks that are on slotted mounts, so you can move them where you want them, and you can build a really nice Tarsier or run cam split micro build with it. You know, this is mine right here. This one was built by Schmerda. I wanted to see what he could do, and I sent him the parts. He built this for me. It's such a beautiful build. It has a brain stack, Caddx Tarsier 2, and a Rush 20x20 VTX in the back. And it's a heavy beast. You can see the props are bent because I smashed it into a steel electrical box, but there's not a scratch on it. You know, this thing, it really takes a hit so well, but it's solid and smooth, and that's what I like about it. I have 1507 motors on it, and I use it for like a cinematic quad, and it still has the speed to freestyle. It is a freestyle quad. It's not like a Cinewoop, but it is stable and smooth in a way that a lot of other micros don't necessarily feel. I wouldn't even call it a micro. It's just a 3-inch, because really with the
What
battery,
batteries you running on that thing?
yeah, I mean, I run 850 4Ss and 1000 4Ss. And with a 1000, it's a little heavy, but like you can still get 2.5, 3 minutes out of it with a 1000, like, flying it.
Yeah, killing it, yeah.
And but on an 850, you still get 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Even the low C count, like a 45C battery. I like the tattoos. Those work great on this, and the weight is pretty nice. It feels like a 5-inch that's like on like a 2203 motor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it has, the camera is in front of the props completely. So no matter what camera you put in it, you're not going to have props in view. It's a really fun frame. So I've been flying this like all winter. It's like the only thing I want to fly. Like, I mean, I love flying my pixels and my micros, but like this is like what makes me feel free right now. Like that. I'm sure everyone's got like that one build that you just feel totally free in.
Right.
Like, I used to feel that way in my my SX4. Like,
yeah,
I just love it. I connect with it. Like, I can just always put it where I want it, and I keep it at like 70% throttle when I fly it, and I don't feel like I'm pushing it too hard. I really love that quad. But this is what I've been flying this winter, and I love it. And then we released the pickpockets too, which that's been a long time coming. These are basically like updated versions of the Pixel, and it's a lighter version of the Pixel, and it has a
show up your pixels, y'all. Or I'm sorry, your pickpocket.
It has a camera pod for a nano cam, and it fits the new AIO toothpick boards, like the Beta FPV toothpick boards, which are just pretty solid 20-amp boards, and people are building 5 inches with them. I'm hoping to soon. Like, we have plans to expand on this board.
There we go.
It's really not a vastly different design than like what we've been recommending for the last 4 years.
Right.
Pixel came out in I think May of 2016 or July 2016.
God, was it that long ago?
Yeah, that's like when I first flew a Pixel.
I remember we were debating on the name. Like, it was you, I, Say, and Will at Corona, and that's we were like all like obsessing over what we were gonna call it back then.
Yeah.
What you were asking us, like, what giving us and then
and then like Google, like the same week, like Google came out with a phone.
Yep.
It was the same exact week. I was like, oh well.
But that was hot because we were stoked, and I remember the whole slogan was like, "What color is your Pixel?" And we were printing every fucking color of TPU we could find.
Color they had.
Yeah, dude. You're like, "What color is your Pixel, man?" So dope.
And then everyone just wanted white. But so Pickpocket's been really great. I mean, I think what made Pickpocket one of my favorite projects in a long time is working with the testers. Like, Shmurda helped me put together an awesome list of people to test this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I will forget someone, but it was like, well, first of all, I gotta say shout out to Barry Booker, because without Barry Booker, this quad never would have happened. Like, I've wanted to do it for a long time, but Barry's been drilling out his pixels, putting AIO boards in them, sending me photos saying, when are you gonna do this? Like, bring it. And like I really like Barry a lot. And I blame Barry for the pickpocket. I'm saying it live.
Oh God, are we doing the blame Barry thing again?
But really, he was the push behind it. And
right.
So first and foremost, I got to shout out Barry. And but then like Chad was on the team, Dane Wilkerson, Dane Martin, Matt, obviously, Gravy, Randy Welsh,
Bone,
Vince, Brian. Dashes United, Adan Ugarde, who am I forgetting? Sean from Vegas, Sean Capolingo, and Chase, like hip hop.
And Vice.
He really, I mentioned Vince, but I'll mention him again because Vince really is like a wealth of knowledge. Really appreciate Vince's input. And so,
I think we
all
talk
you guys
more
have been
cooking.
great. I think some of you guys must be in the chat. I'm looking over here. I think I see a couple, but like, you guys are awesome. Like, it made this project so enjoyable. I mean, I love working with the team on frames, but not everyone on the team was into building micros, and
Sure.
like having like this subset of guys, like all you guys, like such good feedback and like really great enthusiasm, and so I really appreciate it. It's what it is about for me. I mean, like, I don't really make enough money off this to like say I do it for a living. I do it like because I enjoy seeing what you guys build these things, and like doing it because the community that comes around them. So just seeing you guys get so enthusiastic over this little tiny thing is great. I really appreciate it.
It's pretty amazing.
It was my first micro. I had a fucking blast with the thing. I never thought that I have 3 inches, but I don't have like 3-inch micros, so it was a totally different ball game. And the first time I flew it, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not gonna fix any of my broken stuff. I'm gonna fly this for the rest of the winter.
Yeah, that's an easy rut to fall into. I love flying micros because it's just like carefree.
Sure. I mean, and that's why I built this one out the way I did. I was looking, at the time for a brushless whoop, and I was looking at, and I ended up still getting a even smaller one, but I built this one out knowing that it was going to be a little heavier with these prop guards and stuff, but man, it is exactly what I wanted. I can fly it inside. I'm not fearful at all. It's got plenty of juice, and
you have yours set up on dual rates, which I think a lot of people would love to hear about.
Yeah, actually, I run a couple rate sets. Actually, I run 3 on this, but I always run multiple rate sets, and I actually have a motor output limit at 80% for indoors on a PID profile. So I just duplicated a PID profile, but then set 80% motor output limit on that profile. So therefore, I could just kind of tame it down a hair indoors. But then, I've got faster outdoor rates that are up actually near 1,000, but then my indoor rates are way down to like 300. I think it's like three and some change on roll, and 280 something on pitch, and then I keep yaw pretty high. But
and that's the way to go with guards like that for indoors, because you can really fly it around and not be overpowered unless you really.
So what's the go-to motors and stack for this bad boy?
Well, the go-to board is just a single board. It's the Beta FPV 20 amp. There's a new is it Sam Guck that makes a new one, Chad? That just came out this week. But there's another one that looks promising, but the Beta FPV one right now is like the really solid choice. I know Pyroflip also has a board. I haven't used it, but I think one of the testers built with it.
Right.
Maybe one of the Vegas guys, either Dane or I'm not sure. But
mine's built with that one.
Yours is?
I wanted to try the Goku board.
I've had a bad experience.
The Goku, that's what I was.
Yeah, I wanted to try the
Flywoo.
The Flywoo Goku looked good. And with the motors that I spec'd, it would have probably been okay. I think it's rated for about 15 amps, and I use the 1204 6500 kV Zings. And they peak.
And you're on 2-inch though, Jeff.
Yes,
you're on 2-inch.
Yes, that's a 2-inch.
So that's something that should be mentioned. Is that we have a 2-inch, a 2.5-inch, and a 3-inch model, and then there's also a 3-inch model that's a little bit larger to accommodate prop guards. So it's really just 6 millimeter difference. It's 120 versus 126 for the prop guards. So, but the 2-inch, you're running those 1203. You said 1202.
1204.
1204 motors, and those are probably the largest motor you're going to want to put on a 2-inch.
Yeah.
You could even get away with something a bit lighter, like even an 1105 on 2-inch. I think is going to be pretty fun indoors, especially. But a lot of the guys, we're building with up to like 1404, right? In theory, the 3-inch model can handle up to a 1506, but I don't know that you're going to see that much benefit from it unless like long distance speed is your
or maybe a GoPro on top of it.
Yeah, or maybe a GoPro on top of it.
Maybe
faceless GoPro.
Maybe a GoPro on top. So isn't that what Schmerda built just today? Basically, the 3-inch prop guarded version. Didn't he build? Isn't that what I saw him posting pictures of?
He put a prop guard version together. Yeah, because he wants to start doing some indoor stuff. So. He didn't put a GoPro on his yet, but that's something we've been talking about in the team chat a little bit. Is we're gonna start working on like a DK's GoPro version for the mount.
Now that would be dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. Like I've watched multiple videos about decasing them, and I don't think I would risk my GoPro with it. But like, there's people who really want to do it.
I've got
an extra.
Bill, I got a 5. I'll send you if you need one to mock up.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, that would be totally cool. That's the same exact electronics inside, right? It's
Yeah,
just
same
software
thing.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as the 6 and 7. I'm not sure about the 8.
I'll send that. I'll just bring it with me.
I don't know that
I
I
don't
would.
think anyone's going to be decasing.
And
an
I don't think I would do my 8, but I would definitely do a 6.
I could do mine, and if it doesn't work,
After, yeah, I have a
That is
7 I want to do.
Here's my GoPro. Will you give me a new one?
I tried to fix it.
I just want to shout out to GoPro Hero 8 for how durable those things are.
Yeah,
I got
pretty good.
I've got one that's like half apart and still works flawlessly.
Dude, I smashed the fuck out of mine in a concrete the other day, and it kept recording. Bandolero was fine. Just flew right back.
That's awesome.
I've had great loss with it, man.
That was a great crash too, Chris. I saw that clip. That was sick.
Yeah.
Barry's
You found that stairwell. You just found the gap.
The bear in the chat. The bear in the chat. Barry Booker.
Oh hell yeah! Shout out to Barry if he's in the chat. I haven't been paying attention to chat, but I see him now. Yeah.
Shout out to Cement Kid. Shout out to Linuzo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Nerdcopter. Ben Crash. And I know Stoner Trash is floating around in there. And yeah, Gearhead in the chat. Enoch in the chat. What up? What up? Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
What up, peoples? Hell yeah.
Who came?
I think we had
Hola.
BU who hopped in as well.
BU is here,
Yeah,
but AFK.
Hells
Oh,
yeah.
he's here.
What's up, BU?
He was here.
Bashers United is here, but not here.
He's getting set up over there.
Ooh, he's a ghost.
There he is.
There he is. Well,
We're shouting you out, Lamont. We're shouting you out. I hope you hear
Oh,
us.
sorry, man. This is my
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
office, and this is my first night. My kids are staying with me, so I'm running back and forth, double duty.
Yeah, no worries, man. Take care of your family first and foremost.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. We saw you slide in. We're really excited you could be here with the rest of the team. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
no worries,
So should we?
Well,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Artie. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we talked to Bill a little bit. Let's talk to the rest of the guys here. Introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, your setup, how you came to BQE, and
Let's start with Teal.
Why do you gotta go to me first? All right.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
I had seen BQE floating around, and even before I started flying the frames, I just was digging what Bill's about and just how he presents his business. It's not like a normal business. It's more like the skater thrashy, a little bit more punky, but still like clean and minimalistic at the same time, which is kind of like a hard thing to really,
do well,
make look good.
Yeah.
And Bill's doing it. And I was down in Vegas last year for the holiday hangover, and my brother won a BQE shirt, and I made him give it to me. He won in a raffle. I was like, dude, you're giving that to me. And I bought what was the 5 as fuck, raced that for a while, used that as my go-to race frame, and Bill asked me to come on and shit.
Yeah, man. I mean,
since then, that was the start,
Absolutely. Well, you guys have the best bunch, in my opinion. Like when I watch y'all's videos and how y'all interact with everybody, it's just super cool to see, and I can see why he'd pick you guys to be on the team. So it's Bone. Introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, peoples? Bone FPV, Brian Kirby. Bill told you guys a little bit. I literally won a frame on smoking drones on a freestyle competition. Nice. And it was everybody had the choice of a couple Armisen frames or BQE that I'd never heard of. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, this thing is like beef. I'm like, this thing is like, I'm not going to break it, because I was still learning how to fly whenever I first came across BQE. And that basically kept me flying, because I just didn't fucking break it. It took me over a year to break my first 210. And I wasn't that good. I beat the shit out of my frames, and I just kept like, yeah, it was awesome. Like, to me, coming across Bill just by random winning a frame. And yeah, I've just been going with it at that. Getting mostly into like more mid-range, long-range stuff lately. Yeah. It's awesome getting to fly these frames. Like, it's every one of them has been tough as nails.
Yeah, I definitely notice those things are beefy. Take a beating. Take a beating. What frame are you flying right now?
I have almost one of each. Like, for real. Like, I've got the Brawler frame, I've got a 5 as fuck frame, I've got a bot frame, I've got the bot 5. I've got pretty much all of the frames, all the way back to like the SL5, like the stretch check.
Oh yeah,
frame
SL5.
Yes, I've still got that.
Everyone wanted that frame, but I only made like 20 of them and forgot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks for being on here. BU, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Me?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, you.
I don't know, man. I don't know what I was doing. I think I saw through bot or somebody. I saw the BQE Ripper shirt, and like I saw the BQE logo, and having like skated Brooklyn Banks and like all that kind of stuff, and like the whole aesthetic was super skate, and I was all about it. And then I bought the 5 AFX, and I was hooked. Man, I was hooked. It was like the price of it was right. It flew awesome, and I don't know. It was great. And then I just kept repping the brand because I loved it, man. Like that BQE logo with the freaking donut. Come on, like the aesthetic is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the Shut Up and Skate circle came, or the Shut Up and Fly circle came out, and I was like, dude, like you're speaking my childhood here.
Exactly.
Go nuts for donuts.
Go nuts for
That
donuts.
is one of the things we all sort of have that in common. Like everyone on the team skates or used to skate. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me turn you guys up a little bit. There you go.
Nice.
I had to give all those away. I was sad.
I want to show you guys something. I know, Bill, we made you. Did you show the deck?
I not on the stream. It's on the wall up here. But yeah, I posted it. I could probably pull it down.
Well, in the spirit of that,
you got your own.
Hell yeah.
I had my own made.
Oh hell yeah! That's so rad.
That's sick.
Oh, hold it up.
Unboxing.
That freshie.
Oh wow!
Crispy. Oh, that's sick, man.
It's got the logos on it.
Nice.
Oh hell yeah, that's dope.
It's so cool.
It's an 8.5 like yours. It's running. What are these? Pink trucks. It's the first time I've even looked at it myself. I just took it out of the box.
That's awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, there's a picture.
Nice.
That's my quad go getter.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I will say that is one thing that I always noticed is like I saw that Shut Up and Fly, and that took me back. I bought like a sticker pack full of that shit.
Yeah, that was my whole life. Like I skated like every day for 15 years. Like there were days where I didn't eat, but there were no days I didn't skate. It was just crazy, like getting old and not being able to really throw down like that, but still having like such like an attraction to all those graphics and like really wanting to like build on that and talk to people with it because it's so much fun to do this graphics.
Yo, speaking of graphics, what about that pickpocket graphic?
Oh yeah, Matty Blunts. He really, I put out a call for illustrators in the community because I wanted to build, do something that topped the Ripsqueak sticker I had done before, which was one of Wombat's friends. Yeah, Matty Blunts reached out and was like really enthusiastic about it. And I was starting to tell him what my idea was. And he basically recited the same idea as like we typed it at the same time, the octopus with the wallet. So like we just started at that starting point and he did a bang up job. I mean, I think I got one. I don't know if this will be visible on the screen or not, but
Oh yeah. You got to move it over. There you go.
oh, there we go.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Nice.
So dope.
That's
So sick.
He did a great job. And so,
And
we get that on T-shirts and we have stickers, but every one of
Vice
the
has got
trades goes with one of those.
Vice has got the shirt up live now.
Oh yeah,
That's BQE.io, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go get those sick.
Y'all hear about BQE.io?
That's that fire.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, I've worked with a lot of illustrators over my career because I've been a graphic designer, and working with Matty was really fun. That guy is super talented. Really has he put his nose to the grindstone. I wasn't easy on him, pushing him to really tweak it out, and he did a great job. It's an amazing graphic. So I feel really blessed that we have people, such talented people in our community to talk to with this stuff.
Absolutely. That's one thing I love about this community is everybody wants to pitch in. Everybody just puts their different skills together and gets shit done.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So last but not least, we have Mr. Old Motherfucking Gravy Leg up in here. Wavy.
Oh, man.
What's good, man?
Show us your butt.
Well, show us your butt.
No, you do not want to see my butt.
Shh. We love you, Gravy.
Love you guys too. So my name's Matt Williamson. Bill already kind of told the story about how we met. Like we were just bullshitting in the post, and he's like, "Wait, you're where? Like you're my buddies at that same concert at the same concert." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So we met up with him, and me and Bill just kind of kept talking and realized that we used to skate and ride at all the same places.
Yeah.
But just I'm like, we could have. Yeah, but even still, we could have been at the same spot at the same time, and it just went full circle to bring it back. And the rest is kind of history, I guess. Became really great friends. He helped me out anytime I needed anything. I saved up, and I didn't have much money or anything. And I remember you sent me a coupon code. You're like, "Here, dog, I'll help you out." And I'm like, "Fuck that! I'm paying retail."
Yeah, the first three codes I sent him, he didn't use. I was like, "What's up?"
It's like, "No, man," because it's this is one of those products that you can believe in. I'm not going to use a coupon code. That's how you're making your money.
Support,
and I mean, that's how much I believed in the product. I mean, like I was saying, first thing I had was a 210. I still have it. It's still right here. I still have my original Bot 5 unbroken. That's completely rebuilt. I'm probably going to maiden it Friday or something. And then we just kept staying close. I was friends with everybody on the team pretty much. Me and Wombat were always joking around putting BQE stickers on our faces and going on live streams and stuff. But I mean, it was always a blast. And then Bill decided to pick me and BU up at the same time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think what was crazy is that everybody just thought you were on BQE.
Yeah, dude, that was
time. Everybody did. They just were like, "Oh, wait, what? He wasn't?"
Well,
yeah,
my first encounter with Go ahead, man.
Oh no, please.
I was gonna say my first encounter with BQE was through you, Old Gravy. My buddy Dan won a 5 AFX on, I think it was Drone Disorder, maybe, or whatever was before that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But one of those podcasts, one of those streams, and I just assumed you were because you were always repping BQE anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, Matt was such a strong supporter, and he worked so hard. It was impossible to not want to bring him on the team. Seeing him grow so much over the last year, he just worked so hard, and the enthusiasm that he brings to the team is just awesome. So I love having him on the team.
Thanks, man. I love.
Dude, I gotta just say he's the most improved pilot that I know, like for sure.
Oh,
True.
you guys
The-
are killing
the-
me, Jesus.
The gravy is flowing lately.
The gravy,
gravy
is,
is
flowing.
flowing lately.
Yeah.
Woo! I've been loving edits and everything. Like
Oh,
everything
that's
stepped
awesome.
up hard.
Oh, yeah, that was. We got to give shit to Chris about the dolly roll. He was messing.
Dolly.
Dolly's-
It took him like half an hour to
The
teach me
dolly
how to
zoom.
edit a dolly. Oh, a dolly zoom. That's what it
Yep.
was.
That clip over the ice, though, man, that really showed how far you've pushed it. You know.
Thanks,
Mm.
man. And it's funny because that was actually when that footage is from when the Bandolero prototype first came out. That was my maiden.
Nice.
So that's,
Over
I
ice.
The
mean,
ballsy
that was,
maiden.
Yeah, for real.
Well, I went out and jumped on the ice, and I'm like, okay, it's 6 feet deep, and I can't fall through the ice. Like, it feels like it's solid. And then I got out and started flying around the birds, and they start coming at me, and I can see open water. I'm like, oh shit. And then I kept going out there for some reason. I don't know why, but
This is
the video came out good.
beautiful.
Pretty,
Yeah.
that's
To
why.
get the shot, bro. Footy for the
Yeah.
boys.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
That needs to be a shirt.
So what about, so let me just, like, about the frames, like, what do you guys as the pilots, like, what are the things about the frames that y'all like, or like what attracts you? Like, I don't know, layout, certain ways you build them, got some tips.
I
You
can
see this?
break.
This fucking went full send in the concrete the other day, and it still flies, and nothing broke.
Oh yeah.
Good
That's
example.
That's
I mean,
that's basically what it is for me. Is, you know, like I was flying pyro frames for a minute, like the flow ride, and like it's a good frame. I liked how it flew, but anytime I would like fall out of a tree, it would like break an arm.
Right.
And like the first like 2 weeks I had the Bandolero, I like took it out and tried to break it, and I broke like, I think I've still broken like 3 arms on the 6-inch. You know, and I've broken probably 35 arms at least on the flow ride. You know. And-
I have beat the living piss out of my 6-inch Bandolero and I run ridiculous motors on it. I mean, it's just.
I have a theory that the 6-inch Bandolero is tougher than the 5-inch Bandolero. I don't have one to compare.
Can confirm.
I think
confirm.
so. I think the 6-inch is probably a little tougher for whatever reason. I'm not
There's
sure.
there's juju behind it that just helps it along.
Well, Bill says he does voodoo on them before he sends them to me. So.
I believe it. I believe it.
That's the secret. That's it right there.
My two favorite quads. This is the 5AFX with the 6mm arms and the Bandolero. This is a Bandolero running Kiss.
Oh,
like-
there you go, Artie.
Yeah, I like it.
Ooh.
That's the quad right there.
That's what I'm saying. My go-to quad, like the one I want to pick up every time first, is my Bandolero. I don't know, like it just happened. You know, I didn't intend for that to happen. It just like that's just what happened. You know,
That's
that's the
awesome.
one I got the GoPro shot with. You know, like that shit
Yeah,
made me money.
yeah. Straight up,
Sick.
straight up. So you're running,
That's
you're running
awesome.
the 6-inch Bandolero, but you're
Yeah,
running
and
5-inch
I rip it around. You know, 5-inch props. I rip it around playgrounds like a 5-inch, no problem at
Yeah.
all. You know,
and it always looks so stable.
yeah.
I managed to break a prop the other day.
Oh,
Nasty.
Expensive
So-
prop.
And that's $5.
And that's
Yeah.
$8. That's an
Eight.
$8 prop.
$8.
If I
Oh,
crack,
is that one of the master air screws?
So tell me
no,
about
it's the
that 10-inch.
cam. It's the cam.
Oh.
So what made you guys do the 10-inch? Was it something that you had originally wanted to do when you designed the Bandolero?
I can't even get the fucking thing in the frame, bro.
there
It's like,
you go.
We never really, it wasn't an original idea. Like, I mean, it wasn't an idea that came from the original Bandolero lineup. It was something we thought about afterwards. But the structure of the Bandolero, the sandwich is so strong that we figured that, you know, it should be enough to really hold those arms. And I was like seeing a lot of what else was out there, and it was all very complicated, you know, lots of extra parts and braces and stuff. And I really just wanted to see how strong a 10mm arm was going to be on that build. So I made 2 sets, you know, and Chad got one of them, Gravy got the other, and then it worked. You know, sometimes you just try it and it works.
to say the
But,
least.
And no one's broken arm yet, so I kept ordering
That's
arms, and like we're keeping them on a limited production line right now. Like I have more arms.
Can I get on that list?
Yeah, definitely.
No.
I have more coming when China opens back up, but it's not, I don't think, going to be like a permanent store lineup item in its current form. I think it would, if we were going to add it to the store, we're going to make the body a little longer
I have
and,
some
like, tweak
ideas.
a few things.
I have some ideas, but this thing is nearly fucking perfect as it sits. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I mean, I have battered the piss out of it, and I've clipped the ground. I've tore the shit off the front. I actually just had to pull this motor and clean. It was just caked with mud and shit, and I replaced the foot, the pad here, because I completely tore it off, and everything else, the carbon is fine. I mean, I've never felt carbon quite like this. It's a 10 by 12 millimeter arm.
Yeah.
Now, Bill, actually, question. So the custom orders for this right now, are you doing a thicker build deck than the other, or because I know you and I talked about some shit. I laminated 2 decks for my original build.
You were the last person to laminate anything, so everyone after you got new decks, and they're 4 millimeter decks with like factory press nuts. I have 2 versions of those decks right now that we were trying different versions.
Mm-hmm.
I have ones with flush press nuts, and then I have ones with raised press nuts that gives you an additional 2 millimeters on your stack height. So we're playing with those, seeing which one is the strongest. I gotta send one out to Chad, I know. And I think Gravy, you might need a replacement too, right? You still have the laminated board.
Did you laminate? I don't remember.
No, mine's good. I mean,
Oh,
for
you
what
just
I
have
do,
do you have a single 2 mil board?
You have a single 2 mil?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like for what I do, like I'm using it for, cinematic and stuff, like going fast, but I'm not really getting that close.
You can see in
hitting anything.
Vice's windows a little bit of footage of mine ripping around in the park there, chasing him.
Such
I
a
think
beast, dude.
there's nothing quite like the sound of one of these things. It's the meanest thing I think I've ever heard. Bar
When
none.
you showed me that for the first time, it was the first time I got excited about a big quad like that. That thing just rips.
I think I have raw footage of my Maiden on here too. I was flying a small battery. I wasn't flying the 10,000.
I'm so happy, really, that because originally we had talked about using 2 5 mil arms and laminate them like some other frames do, and I was amazed, honestly, that Bill went for the 10 mil. But I was so happy when I got it and I felt it, and I was like, holy fucking shit! I bought spare arms when I got one from Bill when I got this, and we were doing this mod. I'm like, I don't know what will happen. Let's find out. And bro, I don't know if it's gonna be possible. Like, I don't want to jinx myself, but I've hit a lot of things with this already, and it doesn't show any signs of anything. I'll break mid plate or bottom plate, I think, or I'll most likely break the top plate before I break anything else on this quad, and that isn't easy to do. So,
yeah, I mean the laminated arms is like it's a workaround for dodging the expense of that 10 mil material, but really, like having them laid up in one press is going to give you the strongest arm. And on these, well, pretty much on everything we're making right now, we're using like the highest grade of carbon that we can. That
you can buy, right?
So,
you can source.
It's good. It's good as fuck. I love it.
A lot of companies are like promising it's this or that, like putting labels on it, but like really, like unless it's made in the United States, like you can't guarantee any of those labels anyway. It's really about finding like the factory that is able to show you the quality, And so that's really what's going on with like the especially the bandoleros. It makes a huge difference. Like on something like a pickpocket, like it doesn't really matter, but I still use the nicer stuff because I'm like maximizing my cut sheets, so I'm using the same materials across the board. So like the top plates for the bot 5 AFX, those are 3.2 millimeters because we have our own material made for those, and I use that same 3.2 millimeter on the pickpocket as well, like because that way I know every time it's made for me. I know what it's being made with, and I know that the thickness is going to give me the strength that I'm looking for. So it's been a really interesting uphill battle getting to where we are now with factories. I mean, I've had to hire quite a few companies that really wanted my business but couldn't get it right, and it's cost a lot of money and a lot of stress, but it's really in a good place right now. I feel like my supply chain is pretty solid. I just I really honestly I worry mostly about the guys I work with in China, because they're not even allowed to communicate in a lot of cases. Like, they're not getting messages that I'm sending them, and their factory is shut by the government right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's scary stuff, man.
It's
really
gnarly. Some of the Dragons is like, it's gnarly. I'm like, dude, yeah, it's actually gnarlier now that I've gotten a slightly bigger pack. That 10 inches, I think, the scariest sounding thing I've blown.
What are you running on it?
GNB 2600 milliamp on 6. It's a 6S 2600 GNB, but I'm top mounting. So if I wanted to undersling, I could definitely do a bigger pack. I could run. I could
double that.
Yeah, I could easily get it bigger. If I wanted to send it out long range, I would step it up a bit. But
like a 5,000.
I'll be honest, dude. I can get 8 to 10 minutes cruising on a 2600 all day.
If you chair
you don't even need anything bigger, dude.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we were talking about earlier. I have this philosophy that at some point you just start carrying pack. You're not getting any.
There is diminishing return. Like on the Bandolero, I can put my 5S 2200 and not get any longer than my 5S 1800.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It turns off at that point.
Well, Red 5 and I have had a lot of conversations about that. Like, we're trying to approximate or proportionally, find packs that, on a 5-inch, you might be running an 11 or a 1300 milliamp. And, so therefore on a 10-inch, we're running a 22 or a 2600, and it's basically proportionally larger. We're just, because, with purpose-built macro, everything just seems to fit right. You know what I mean? And it just flies right. It handles the way you would expect. It feels like a 5-inch. That's one thing. That's why I don't really fly X class, because I'm not a big fan of tube arms. Like, I love carbon plate frames, and I love the designs I'm seeing. And like, when we had the opportunity to make this modification to the Bandolero and start that thought process moving forward of, wow, we could do a sick 10-inch. We could start with this, but then, like as Bill said, it may organically grow into something else, hopefully. And I've been pushing Bill to, release a macro. So I think that we're proving this can work, and it flies amazing. And it can be a great platform for a cinema rig like Gravy's doing.
I was just about to say, Gravy was going to put a Sony A7 on his,
Yeah, that's it.
That could be the future here soon, is, flying actual rigs that you can use to make movies with, that is accepted as cinema grade video,
Definitely.
I mean,
that's the next step.
An A7 III with a 50 millimeter. I mean, I trust that thing as long as the day is. I mean, I'm not gonna muff the thing up, but I know it's gonna hold the camera. Like, the arms aren't gonna weaken up. Like, they're not glued. They're not gonna be shoddily put together and stuff. I mean, I trust it, just like everything. That's why I'll only fly BQE stuff. And it's, I feel like some people got sick of it hearing me say that and like think I'm like, oh, you're shilling your boy's company. But it's like, no, like, I've thrown frames through my wall to prove, and I'm like, here it is.
Remember that.
I have holes all over the wall behind me, and now they're covered up by posters.
There's a print in my ceiling from this thing when I was testing it inside. There's a camera print.
Well, dude, look up here. I full throttled my 210 into the ceiling, and it knocked all the plaster off.
I watched Chad Miller put his beefy 3 into the ceiling.
Yeah.
Too. Remember, those 4 holes for the 4 prop nuts.
And the camera. That's what I was talking about. It's got perfectly the 4 holes from the prop, from the shafts and the bolt, and then it has the camera. And it just was like, I was like, holy shit. Bill's like, that's why you don't do that inside. I'm like,
It's a rental.
In the 10-inch, I'm running. Somebody's asking in the chat. In the 10-inch, I'm running a Unify Pro 32. I definitely, on those big quads, I run those. I run Pro 32 on all my big quads. The HV version. Yeah, I don't really trust much. I'll be honest, I broke down and tried a different V2X on my bot effects, and I have video problems right now. When I punch out, my fucking camera drops out. And I'm just, it's the most frustrating fucking thing in the world. And I was telling Artie, I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I just buy a Unify? Because I just wouldn't have this problem right now. More than likely, I would not have this problem right now. And now I'm trying to figure out if is it the Beck on the VTX acting up, or, you know, I'm about to yank it and throw a Unify on it because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I gotta get this thing running again.
Yes, you do.
I really do.
That's Austin's macro.
I miss it.
I know. Artie and I are gonna come and steal it if he doesn't fix it.
See, I can get it in the frame if I back up far enough.
Well, you need to get on one of these BQEs.
I already got so many projects. I got so many projects in queue right
Have you
now.
heard about BQE.io? I got the glasses around here somewhere.
Well, we need to get somebody
a BQE
into BQE. Get away this frame, man.
How are we doing on our names, Vice? You're muted.
Yeah.
Oh, is it about that time? Yeah, we're getting that time. We're gonna start. All right, we'll start gearing up.
56 people.
And have you delineated all the names? You think we don't have any doubles, right?
I think so.
It's this one
Probably.
right here.
Oh, there it is. Let me bring that up.
Nice. Yeah.
Dang.
That looks sick. I love
Mine is not as cool.
Yeah.
That has the that's a Hero 8 mount with an ND slot on it, and custom teal BQE TPU all around.
The Stormer Race. It's set up for freestyle.
Stormer Race Freestyle Edition.
Yeah.
The GoPro Hero 8 or the Hero 7 Black White Edition.
That should be a mother.
Also, don't forget
Oh yeah.
custom Goon Squad.
Goon Squad.
Gimbal
Hell yeah.
guards
Gimbal guards,
in
yeah.
glow in the dark and teal.
Yes.
Printed by Mad Chiller himself.
So I brought those out to Bill before Christmas, right? It was like,
Yeah.
we've been planning this for a minute.
You were doing that shoot at the
barracks, yeah.
And we were gonna do a shoot, but we ran out of time. It was just like crazy.
Because we flew. I made Bill go fly, and he met a friend, and it was an amazing time, and I was so happy.
No, we knew we were gonna fly, but we still ran out of time.
We did run out of time, and I was tired as fuck because I was working crazy days on that shoot. But that was the best thing ever, man. I hadn't seen Bill in a couple years. You know, we talk every fucking day, but you know, face to face. And like that's why I'm excited even tonight to get all of us together to be able to fucking do this and get some FaceTime is clutch. You know, we all talk, but you know, some of us hang out, but you know how it goes. It's just dope to be able to do this. And that's for me when I was like, you were saying, let's give it away. I'm like, dude, let's do it on the stream. It would be dope. Come on, I talk about the, you know, talk about BQE. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm so excited. Like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's great having everyone here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. Thanks again for you guys coming out, and man.
Thanks for having me on,
Yeah,
guys.
it's been so fun having you all on.
So what else? I mean, tips and tricks. Like I said, is there anything that you do or that you found, you know, any of you guys find something about a BQE frame outside of its insane durability? You know, is there any tips or things that you know, details that Bill puts in that you utilize, so to speak? Because I have one, but I was going to ask you guys first. So, is there anything that comes to mind?
That little piece of TPU that you put in between the things, that's key. I like that.
The arms, yeah.
Like flexing all over the place.
And that's on the bot effects. And is that on any of the others, Bill? I can't remember.
It's on the SX5. It's on the Stormer.
Yeah.
So explain that.
It's basically just a damper, basically. So those arms can be replaced with a single bolt if you have a 20 by 20 stack, and lining them up isn't really hard. But when you put it together, like before you tighten everything down, it's loose. So that helps you like get everything sort of tight together as you're tightening it, the bolts down. And then when you're flying, you know, if you have a bolt come loose, it keeps the arm from actually creating vibrations.
Right.
Like while it's loose. I mean, obviously you should always check your bolts before you fly. I mean,
check your bolts.
Make sure, and you should make sure that your press nuts are on the top.
Shit, what am I gonna say
thought
now?
it was always on the bottom.
You want the fattest part of the press nut is on the top of the build, which, you know, there's some people in my life who don't know that. But you know, if your bolts do start to come loose, which, you know, happens to anybody, the TPU just keeps it from creating additional vibrations. It's really like, it's not gonna keep your arm from falling out,
Right.
but it's, you know, it's a structural part of the damping.
Absolutely, and it makes assembly easier when you're actually building the
For
frame.
sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Vice has the graphic up.
Yeah, Vice has the graphic here. I'll take it full screen. Take it full screen. There was
Best moderator out
there was
there.
another
I mean-
version of this that had somebody's picture involved, but I won't say anything.
All I can say is quads have fallen out of the sky, races have been lost because press nuts were installed upside down, and to the great shame of BQE.
Ouch. It's heavy.
Oh man.
So
People building quads upside down completely by like, I don't know what happened. I like the battery cage on the bottom though.
Dude, Virgin's in the house. He's been using his Bandolero as his main film rig too. You know, he's got all kinds of frames, but that's his go-to is his Bandolero.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he rips, that guy. I mean, all of you Colorado guys just have so much style, and you just have amazing locations.
Yeah.
Places like you
Amazing
travel.
locations.
We're
You know,
blessed
it's like-
with badass fucking spots for sure.
I don't know if it's just blessed. I think you guys work for it too. I mean, you're doing a lot of hiking and climbing to get where you're going, and like it's amazing. I mean, I love watching all the Colorado.
DJ in the
which is why
chat.
I'm repping Hell's yeah, Drumco right here, because that's what it's all about.
hell yeah.
Support your friends.
I'm hella jealous of the Colorado guys because those vistas and views I see out there, I'm just like, I'm in New York. It's tough. Bill knows. Bill knows. We're fucking like, it's hard to fly in this city and find a new place.
Trees and concrete.
Fly.
Yeah, Enoch and Gravy were like in Zoom the other night, and we're all chilling, and they're like trying to find like this one little peak on this one little hill looking thing. I'm just like, oh man.
Well, there isn't any peaks for like 6 hours
Yeah.
for me, man. I'm in the flatlands, bro.
So we're trying
Belts is a
to
bitch.
get a little group, at least as many as we can, that are out in this on the East Coast of guys. There's a bando out here in Long Island, and Cricket was here recently, and I know him and FPV Geek and Crasher and Gravy, I hope, are gonna come and be in BU, yes. And anyone else that wants to come out, we're gonna.
Hey, hit me up. Those Frontier flights are like $79.
B-Rad's coming. He's gonna jump on a flight. So there we go. We're gonna definitely do that. And so if any of you guys want to come out, when it gets warmer. We're none of us like the cold that much, so we're gonna wait until it gets a little warmer. But yeah, Pilgrim. There's some footage in the. We want to hit this bando here.
Sick. That's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
That's a killer spot.
Yeah, we want to hit.
Yeah,
It's an old mental asylum.
It's an old mental asylum. This place is really sick. It's out on LI, and there's a tower.
Doesn't Tech live like 10 minutes away from there?
Yeah, Tech's close. Tech works 10 minutes from
Yeah.
here. He lives up in I think
Oh, yeah, that's
he lives
sick.
up north, but he works like 10 minutes from here. And it's a sick spot. There's also a tower, like a lonely tower that I got a nasty inverted orbit around
Yeah, you
a
did.
couple times, and that was. I also crashed trying, but it was awesome. I actually beat the living piss out of my 6-inch Bandolero here.
That sounds like a great trip.
Maybe we can get Bill Brissette to come out and visit.
It's a long drive. It's a long drive. Speaking of long drives,
Flap your
Chris,
arms,
like,
dude.
Tell us a little bit about your trip.
Yeah,
you're-
dude.
Are you about to start a trip because of the Boston Film Festival?
Yep. So John's on the full 10-day adventure, you know, and it started here in Grand Junction. They went down through Moab, parts of Utah, and then it's gonna go down to Arizona, and then me and Spoonie are gonna drive down and meet him in Glamis this weekend,
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
then hopefully film some dune buggies or dirt bikes or something. I don't know, something fun. And then make our way to the beach, you know, probably stay a couple nights in Huntington Beach.
Oh yeah.
Maybe fly the beach. Spoonie's never seen, or he hasn't, been back to California since he was like 2 or something. So he hasn't seen the ocean over there. So he's all stoked about that.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
So one thing I was going to mention, and I mean, these are kind of obvious givens. And I don't mean, Chris, are you finished? I'm sorry. I was just thinking about details.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking about details that I've noticed. And one thing that I love that Bill does is he puts zip tie slots in very appropriate places. And if you catch it, you can utilize them to make your build a lot more fucking
I utilize everyone.
Yeah.
reliable.
Caps, the SMA, like all kinds of stuff.
If you notice, like in the bot and the bando, there's zip tie slots, like where you put your 4-in-1 and where you would have your lipo come out through the top plate. There are zip tie slots that you can use to strain relief your lipo lead right there, which I made a point of showing that to some people because, yeah, Vice has got it there.
That one right there.
Yep.
Even on the side,
Nice.
even on the side of the canopy for the pickpocket.
Bot
You
says
get, like,
don't
if-
go to the ocean. There's fucking sharks and shit. Where the fuck are you at, Buck Ryan?
Yeah, where are you?
Exactly.
Yo,
Where is this
Doug,
motherfucker at?
I sent you an invite. Where are you? We all sent you an invite.
I like
You're our star player,
battery
buddy.
lead coming out the front.
Just FYI, sharks.
I know.
Actually, yeah, and Bill's been doing that. Here's the 210 from years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, it's got zip tie slots. Yeah, I run bottom mount. That's why there's sticky shit on the bottom.
So,
I'm a grit,
so
but,
aside from
yeah.
putting your press nuts on the right way, or making sure your press nuts are the right way, make sure you utilize the slots. There's slots for your VTX. There's slots for a lot
All
of
kinds
things.
of sluts.
What do you guys put in the trunk of your bandos?
Another camera.
There's one.
Another camera. Yeah.
That's my favorite. I love seeing that. The chase footage is great.
Have you got a setup you can show right now?
I don't have the camera on it, but I have the.
You have the mount.
Yeah, I got the mount set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you can run 2 GoPros on
Yep.
your bando. That's pretty fucking fire. Get that.
So if you lose it, it's double the loss.
Well,
It's 2 chances to
Get
win
that
the
shot.
GoPro.
Dude, exactly.
Exactly.
double the chances to win. I actually, in that video, I didn't use it for the 8. I didn't have an 8 mount at that point, but I got some pretty cool 7 shots on the bando, like on the chase part, where he was like, like wheeling and he like ducked under the camera or something,
Hell yeah.
Yo, Chris Penn in the chat. What's up, Chris Penn?
Holla.
Holla.
What up, drone camps?
Drone camps?
Oh yeah, what's up, Justin?
Oh, what's up, Justin?
Everyone would be cool.
He said he's eating some pizza, chilling, watching the BQE fam.
That's awesome.
You should have
So what I
Justin on your show sometime, Chad. He's got some great stories about living in Brooklyn.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Hit me up. Hit me up.
Hi, FA, welcome.
Well, I was gonna have. I've been meaning to ask.
RC car chat.
I've been meaning to ask Bashers here on, but I'm glad we got him on tonight, and hopefully, I'd love to have you back on as well, and each and every one of you. Chris has been on with us, and I'm really excited that you guys are all here together. I think that's the most amazing part. Yeah.
This is a rare occasion to
Yeah,
get
dude.
Bill out of there.
I know. I was like prying. I'm like, come here, dude. Come here.
For a long time, I thought Bill was just a figment of his imagination.
All right.
I still think it. I still think it. So.
I still think it. That's funny.
So Vince is giving me the names. So let me get this going. So,
Oh, here I have an updated list.
You have an updated list?
More people
uh,
came into
I
chat.
see Chris Penn, JC Torres, Big Mouth. All right, you guys better chime in and say something. If you're here and you're watching and you want to win this frame, make sure you have said something. So that's a complete list, that second one you just sent, Vice? I don't have to.
Yeah, 62 motherfuckers.
All right. Last chance.
Gonna be. Do they have to be in the U.S.?
Everybody talk.
I mean, I will chip in and pay if it's out of the country.
Yeah, if it's outside, I got 5 on it.
I ship out of the country every day. It's not a big deal.
All right. So is that it?
Yeah,
Where's the chat?
one more.
You got one more?
One more for you. One more, yeah. Hazard FPV I just added.
All right. Let me just.
Is he gonna win? The late entry gonna win?
Could be.
Yeah, he's the last
Could
entry, so
be.
we'll see if he's the last entry. You know,
All
if
right.
you're an official BQE pilot.
We got the old wheel of doom going.
Oh,
on
dang
here.
it!
Yeah, I know. I
Sorry,
didn't
Wes.
realize
win.
that when I commented.
And
And the winner is
I didn't
Bill.
add you guys.
That happened once.
Shipping's cheap, buddy.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was on a UFTA stream. Like I
Yep.
won the prize I was trying to give away.
Yep. And just know that Bill puts love into every address that he puts on all of the packages that he sends you.
I put
Oh.
more love into some than
Yeah.
others.
And he puts more
even
sticker than
Kirby's
any other retailer out there.
Kirby's
Like,
son.
And he's got the
Yep.
best slaps, man.
Yeah,
His
for
stuff.
sure.
Kirby's
Insemination
son.
Kits Inc.
Well, you know, I had to change my return address just to get packages to Brian Kirby because his mailman has a vendetta against BQE.
He's
So,
such a douche.
Seriously, it could be like a show like with starring Larry David or something.
Did you?
It's just every package I sent to him in 2018 got held up, lost, stolen, or whatever, and it makes no sense because he would get other mail. It was just BQE packages.
So
Like he was singling out if it said BQE on it, he just didn't put it in the mailbox. He put it in the mailbox down
He
the
had to
road.
walk to the door. He just kept it in the truck, man.
Somebody
Yeah.
somewhere has like an entire sponsorship of BQE frames, and they just start ripping like, I ain't saying shit.
Bot was saying if he won, he was going to give it to Drone Camps, and Drone Camps said he was going to give it to Kush. And let's see.
Well, Drone Camps is on there. I did. Add his
We
name,
didn't put
so-
Bot on there though. Bot, you already have one.
No, he's an official.
I just want to give a shout out to
Doesn't
Drone
get a
Camps
freebie.
for doing that badass video promoting
Mhm.
the protest.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Going on with FAA, so shout out to you.
And we
Yeah,
should,
that
we
was a
should, we
killer
should,
video.
Appreciate it.
we should shout that out again. Yeah. That's helpsaveourhobby.com. That's in the description, y'all. And that's for the protest. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
Yep.
also if you haven't got your comment in, that day's coming up on the 16th, I think.
Yeah, get your comments in. It doesn't have to be big and long.
16th
It
of
could be-
March.
Just make it personal, man.
We're-
Yeah,
we're-
it's
From
just
the
gonna
heart.
We're
From the heart.
within weeks of the deadline.
Yeah, March 2nd, I
It's
think.
not-
I
yeah,
thought it was.
I
I
thought it
thought it
was
was.
the
I thought it was the
No.
March 2nd. Yes,
Yeah, it's March 2nd.
March 2nd.
It's March 2nd.
Yeah, because the protest is the 29th, and it's like 3 or 4 days before the deadline, basically. And apparently, you can submit PDF documents. You can cut, copy, and paste in, and
So you can actually, I dropped a link to the Drones Changed My Life video that me and Spoonie made, and I know it got viewed from there.
right.
So you can drop video links, and they get you can see them somehow. So
Speaking of that, you've
that's
got that your project video coming too, yeah.
yep,
Wicked.
yep, exactly. If anybody wants to be in it, I just need a couple seconds, even, just you hanging out with your face. I need your face. I want to make a video calling it, the faces of FPV. I want to show, the diversity of the pilots in this hobby, because there's so many, and all different walks of life. We all, a lot of us come from, real similar backgrounds, but a lot of us come from just weird, random things that, it's definitely shaped a lot of people's lives.
Well, look how many people it's brought together just in this fucking stream.
Redbeard
Yeah,
in the chat.
absolutely.
Redbeard in the chat. Yo, did you put Redbeard on that list? Hold on, he's here.
Everybody's on
Is
there.
B
He's
Rat
the
on
first
there?
one
Oh, is he? Oh, he's always the first one. I don't see him. Are you sure?
all the way in the middle. He's in the right when Facebook becomes.
Oh, Redbeard. I got you. Is B Rat on there? I see B Rat in there. Is B Rat on there? Do you know?
I promise you,
Everybody's
dude,
in it, brother.
everybody's on.
All right.
Trust.
Oh,
Do we need to play some team
all right,
building
hold on a
trust
second. Hold on a
games?
second. I actually hit the spinner. I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
do
you
it
can
yet.
check all 65 names.
Let me reset this. Here, hold on. Just make sure.
It's gonna blow.
It's gonna blow. All right. So we're absolutely done. We got all the names. All right.
Chad, you're cute.
About time, bot grinder. If he can get his OBS working.
All right. All right, we got it. We got all the names in here. Let me do the old screen cap. You guys ready?
If you don't win, you can blame me.
If you don't win or if you don't want it, you can let us know and we'll take you out. But
you there, man? We got you, brother.
Oh shit.
yo, what up, Doug? You're just in time. So we're gonna do the giveaway right now. So
can you hear me? This is working.
Yes.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
All right.
Good.
The spinner is live. Bill. Oh, where did Bill go? Oh, there he is.
Right here.
Oh, hang on.
All right. Tell me when to say go, or just go. Tell me to go when you want me to. Say go.
Let's go.
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 We're going.
Go.
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 Who is it?
Really?
Who is it? Who is it?
Go.
It is easy, motherfucking FPV.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Easy.
Congrats, man.
man.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations, man. Hell yeah. If you're not part of the BQE family, you are now. So make sure you check out BQE.io and the BQE crew and Massive on Facebook.
So it's coming to you, Easy.
Easy. Hit me up, bro, so I get those deets. I'll make sure Bill gets them and we will get that out to you. Congrats, my brother.
Congratulations.
Hell
That's
yeah.
Still here? Yep, you're still here. Yep.
He's gonna love it.
Congrats, man. Yeah, he's in chat.
Is he losing his mind? He's so excited.
Yep.
That's awesome. So, Mr. Crasher, thank you for joining us, bot. How you doing, man?
Yes. Good. I was watching. I just had to put on pants and stuff. But now I'm here.
Fucking welcome, dude.
I didn't realize
Past
pants
the
were
showers.
required tonight. I would have.
I don't have
I'm not
pants on.
wearing pants.
I don't have pants on.
I mean, I usually don't, but I felt like this was kind of a classic event. So
I know. I'm wearing a polo.
yeah, this fool's wearing a polo. What if I
ironed
just
my
walk in here
t-shirt.
in my goddamn
Actually-
PJs? You know what I'm saying?
So
Fucking
there's a funny
polo.
There's a funny story. The reason why I'm wearing the polo is I was supposed to go on the same road trip that Chris is going on and that John's on currently right now, but I wound up having to have surgery. I had it yesterday, and Bill sent me the hat I was wearing. Oh, you didn't see the hat earlier, but it matches the polo. And so I fucked that whole thing up by getting sick and having to have surgery. So I wanted to at least wear it tonight. But this shit is dope as hell, and I want to say it live, dude. This thing's awesome. Thank you.
Hells yeah, man. It's appropriate for FPV or on the golf course.
Yes.
Which I do both. Poorly. Both. Yep.
No, it's rad. It was really fun designing that for you.
Mm.
You look
No, I
great.
love it, man. Thank you.
So we've heard from from everyone except Bot. So Bot, what's up, man? How did you get into BQE? What brought you into the family?
Fucking God, I don't know when. Bill might remember. When did I see
You don't remember.
Where did I see BQE for the first time?
I think it was Chris Penn.
Was it? I was gonna say it was Chris Penn, but then I thought I met him later. But no, it was when I met him. He had it, huh?
Yeah.
He had
I
that
think it was Chris
210.
Penn.
The
And,
infamous 210.
And I remember you hit me up and you wanted to order one, and like, you know, it was like really before you even really started doing YouTube that much, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Early.
Yeah, it was. Man, it's stretching my memory to go back that far. But yeah, Chris Penn, man, he spreads the word. That guy, he's a warrior.
Yeah, so I guess that would be Chris Penn showed me the 210, and I was just like, because I remember when I saw the 210 the first time, I'm just like, oh shit, I was getting fucking bang good clones, you know what I mean? Just like thin ass bullshit carbon. And I saw that and I was like, oh, this thing's fucking like thick. It looks like it won't break. And that was something in my brain was like, I would never spend money on fucking parts. I was the cheapest motherfucker on parts. But I was like, okay, you know, the arms break and that breaks the ESC and breaks the flight controller.
Right.
Maybe if I buy a good frame, everything else will break. And that 210 is so fucking compact and shit. Everything just sticks in there, you know? So I got that. And then I was like, good carbon is the way to go. Like that's one thing I'll spend the money on is my frame. And now, you know, it's other things too, but the frame is a solid foundation for the rest of your quad. So you're gonna want to spend money on that shit, you know. Better make sure you
But yeah, you bought your first couple of frames. It wasn't like I just jumped on and you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think that's actually pretty common. Like everyone on the team was like a supporter before they became a team member.
I'm sure I asked for a discount, but yeah, no, I paid for all of them.
I'll do a review for you.
Yeah.
And how did you get into flying, bot?
Flying, fuck, I had like a Hubsan X4, right? A little Hubsan drone.
Hell yeah.
And my buddy had one, and I was like, we should race these, like me and him. And then I just was like, oh, I wonder if anybody races drones. I wonder if that's a thing. So I Googled drone racing, and I saw actually a Vice article, and the dude's in New York City fucking doing it, right? And they had Fat Sharks with them like old antennas, like the IB Crazy ones. And I was just like, whatever I have to do to necessitate owning goggles with little antennas on them, like video stream goggles. That was what sold me. I was like, that's the most thing of it. No matter what it is revolving around the goggles, I want to do that fucking hobby. And it was drones and shit. And I was like, yeah, cyberpunk all the way. I want to do it.
That's probably the most asked question is, are you flying it from your goggles?
Yeah. And then I feel like people, their whole perception changes. You see their face, just realize what's happening. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, so you can go, how far can you go and shit?
Right.
Yeah, like is it virtual reality goggles? Like no, it's just
that
reality
VR?
goggles.
Someone asked me that
Can
just
you spy
today.
my wife?
What do they ask you?
Oh, someone asked me today, is that like, so it's virtual reality? I was like, no,
Yeah, no.
it's real reality.
Yeah,
It's
it's real reality.
You know?
It's
an
IRL.
out-of-body reality.
Fuck yeah.
I explain it as like it's like flying a fighter jet, you know, like you're just cruising around. Like you're in the cockpit.
My favorite is, can I fly it?
Yeah,
exactly.
You literally can't.
I get more people asking to ride my one wheel than have to fly my drone.
Yeah, I bet.
If you crash.
Distraction.
Those one wheels are dope though.
The one wheels, yeah. I mean, I ride a boosted, but I don't have a one wheel yet. I just
died on a one wheel at
Rampage, yeah. Yeah, no shit.
I was at the my girlfriend was at the hospital the other day, and the doctor was talking to me about shit, and he was like, I got a one wheel. You ever seen one wheels? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you should get one. They're pretty tight, right? And I'm like, fuck you. Those are like $1,200. Doctor piece of shit. Yeah, I should get one. If I had an extra $1,200 fucking dollars, I'd have one.
Buy me one.
Yeah, maybe you should buy me one. Yeah.
So, Chad, I just got a message that Easy FPV is Dylan, the guy we flew with when you were here in LA. Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
That
no shit. That's awesome.
That is fucking meant to be right there. That is what that
It really is.
That is fucking
Dude, I
meant
told
to be.
you at the beginning. I was like, I hope somebody dope wins the frame.
That's awesome.
So rad.
Actually, he's got a sick fucking reel, man. He shoots. He gets to shoot around planes.
He's an amazing pilot. He really rips it up. He does shots for SpaceX.
Whoa.
You know, his reel is sick.
It's pretty sick. You should check it out.
And
For
he
real.
hasn't even really started posting like FPV clips, but I've seen some of his recent clips. The guy really rips. He's been like ripping his Emax Baby Hawk like it through UPS trucks and stuff, like up and down his stairs, like through his house at like full throttle. The guy really has a lot of control. It's amazing to watch him fly. He's also a paraglider too. You know, honestly,
yeah.
Chris, he might be someone to hook up with on your trip.
Yeah.
Because he has like a lot of
if he does
aeronautical experience.
Well, we were thinking of going past the Sabova Speed Park. If he does speed flying, maybe we'll meet up with him.
It's funny.
We'll figure something out.
B-Rad in the chat's like, no shooting around planes. This is actually his job, right? Like, isn't that part of his work? Is that correct? Yeah. It's like he's working with an aerospace team, and he has to get footage of these things. Imagine that. That's a good gig.
Badass.
No shit.
That's
a fucking killer gig, bro.
That's crazy.
I mean,
yeah, he does a lot of commercial shots as well, like for car companies and stuff. He does pretty well for himself. I really like his flying. And he's totally chill, really fun to hang out with.
I really like it when like other like types of filmmakers or creators get into FPV. It brings this whole other creative aspect to it that we kind of get blindsided by as FPV pilots.
We're too inside our bubble.
Exactly, and you see somebody that like Danny McGee. He's this FPV pilot that's really taken off lately, and he was making like cinematic videos before flying FPV, and now he's combining the two.
Well, it's like I just saw Matt, what's his name, Canadian kind of filmmaker. Hapaja.
Oh yeah, Matty Hapuya or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. He's got a Cinewhoop trying to fly.
Yeah, Peter McKinnon's friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So gives you a different angle, man.
Yeah. And he's like it shows like one clip of him crashing or whatever, but he's he's starting, and it shows that it's gaining popularity.
So wait, Bill, there's confusion on the mitts because are you sure it's Dylan?
Oh, maybe he was fucking with me.
Oh, we're talking about it right now. So I just got a message from, and it actually makes sense to me now because he's like, wait a minute, I'm Easy FPV. And I'm like, wait a minute, you are Easy FPV. God damn.
Well, shout out to Dylan. You took over the stream.
Dude, you totally took over the stream. You just had a streamception, dude. It's amazing.
That's fine.
Secrets out.
So that's Eric Lowry, actually, is Easy FPV, yeah? So.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric then, because.
Well, congrats, Eric.
Congrats, brother.
Yeah, we are all. Yeah.
Congrats to the correct winner.
He doesn't work for SpaceX.
He doesn't work for SpaceX, but he's awesome.
But he's mad cool. That guy, Eric.
Over here pulling a Steve Harvey on.
That's fucking funny, bro.
I'll just like
the winner is
Steve Harvey.
That's fucking awesome. Well, congrats,
Hey,
man.
guys. I got to roll out.
No worries.
Hey, man.
Good to see you, bro.
Coming through.
Hey, man, take it easy.
Have a great evening.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think actually,
homie.
I know a lot of guys kind of have to jam tonight. Got stuff to do tomorrow. I was thinking I was going to end out with some of y'all's videos, and then we'll cut it for the night.
Oh wait, you gonna show my videos? Hold up.
Hey, you gotta show some BU. Just
get
jump
that
right
one.
to BU right now, Chad. Just
Yep.
jump for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Play some views.
All right, hold on. I got to find the list.
It should be on the list.
The list. Hold on a second.
Should be
We have lists. Now where they are.
You have a list? No
We
way.
have lists. I just showed
Where
up.
they are in all of our damn.
Chris's last flight at Moab, that one's fucking badass.
Right.
The snow one.
Is that the link?
Yes.
Is that the link you gave me, Vice? Do you know?
I picked his BQE versus concrete video.
Oh yeah.
That one's
along
okay.
those-
That one's kind of
That was a good one.
part.
So drop the.
Moab is on
I mean,
my
I picked. I
Moab
just
was
picked the most
definitely-
recent one.
Moab looks
Prettier.
great all year long. Like,
Yeah,
Fuck you.
it's on my bucket list, man. That
I
is
mean
like
that in the
one of the
nicest way
places I gotta go fly before I die.
All right, so
I'll give you an
Anybody
update
wants to
when it's like-
come up here, fucking let me know.
we're gonna
I know. I still got to come out. I promised I would.
we're
I
gonna
have a 420
I'll be
friendly
out.
Airbnb across the street from my house.
I go to Dick's every year for fish, man. I may hit you up.
Oh my goodness.
we're gonna cut out.
Who the hell is that guy?
We're gonna cut out the beginning just so we can get through them. But
Yeah.
let me take this full screen and go.
Look at my fucking motors.
I like that strap.
Ooh.
So what rig are you running in this, BU?
I think that's the Bandolero. Not the
Is that
bot.
the Kiss one?
It's the bot. It's the new bot 5 flying flight 1.
Right on.
Look at me, I'm flying at night. Press.
Yeah, what FPV cam do you run?
It's session 5.
No, what FPV camera you're in?
Smooth as fuck.
FPV.
The Micro Eagle.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, it's cold.
This still goes? Holy cow.
Actually, it's not cold. It's very nice. No complaints. You know, I was just talking about how.
Yeah, dude.
I was hoping it was the one that you trolled bot with and put Converge in because we know he loves him so much.
Familiar with the video format.
That was great.
Chris, did you drop that Moab link in here?
Oh, do you want me? Yeah, oh, sorry.
No worries.
Shit.
All right, let me find somebody else in the meantime.
Yeah, play somebody
I
else.
got to roll, guys. My bed is in pieces on the floor in my bedroom, with no sheets on it. I got to build a bed.
You need that.
All that kind of stuff. But thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for coming. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare soon.
Hell yeah. My computer's still sitting in shambles.
All right, well, build that and then build the bed and then go to sleep.
All right, this is Wombat FPV.
Fuck yeah, Wombat.
He needs to make more videos.
All right, guys.
Yes, he does.
Finally be able to show you this squad. BQE.motherfucking.io. Ready for it? I don't know if you're ready. Should I show you? Let's show you. The BQE Bandolero. This is the new Jeff Orta frame from BQE.io. I fucking love it. I've been flying it for about 3 or 4 months now, doing some R&D. Fucking love this frame. It's a little heavy. Just keep that in mind when you're speccing out your build or whatever. It needs some oomph. But I've actually grown to love the weight of it. It throws very nicely, and I have no, I don't know. It's tough. It's just fucking tough. It's built well. It's designed well. Built did a killer job of the design. It looks good. She's a little fat, but she fucking rips. And she rips for a long time. And she doesn't die. And I fucking love that about this frame. Here it is. No more teasers. Here's the BQE Bandolero.
Oh my god, the buildup was the worst to that drop.
So without further ado, let's fly this field.
Dope tree spot.
Hey, there was me. He was doing the the inverted bra spin.
Hells yeah.
Hell yeah.
I forgot how good
Oh,
Wombat
yeah.
was. He really needs to fly more.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He kills
man.
it.
He was Matty flipping trees. That was sick.
Yeah, dude. And it also shows, it definitely shows how tough the frame is as well, which is pretty fucking awesome.
Wombat rips.
Wombat
Yeah.
fucking
Let's all bug him to fucking put out more videos.
absolutely.
Yes.
Wombat, put out more videos. Or we're gonna shave you down.
I think the way to go is I think we
Hashtag
should
shave
all
Wombat.
shave Wombat. That works. I was just gonna say everyone should call him. I think if we shave him, that'll work.
Let's go. Let's see.
He would look so funny
And
with
then,
no like
links in
facial
the,
hair or like hair on his head.
Chat.
Oh, that was the only hair I was thinking was gonna be left.
Just a full length mohawk.
All right, here we go. We got the one like West Side up next.
And if you step into his world with his mind, you will see it quickly change into a beautiful, exciting world of fantasy.
Yeah, that shit's so sick.
Hells yeah.
That was nasty.
So sick.
Man, I gotta come out and fucking fly with you, bro.
Yeah.
shit is so
I'm
fucking
coming
good.
too.
That, yeah, it's fucking epic, dude.
You're just like above the planet.
Yep.
It's the truth. It really is.
Through clouds, like fucking.
That is fucking incredible.
So how far out are you generally with like?
1 mile.
Yeah, barely over a mile.
The entry to that shot was so sick. Just that little turn in. It's nasty. So good.
Exciting world of fantasy.
Yeah,
Good shit, man.
Sick.
That's probably the 10th time I've watched that video.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Same. I think that's the second time we played it on the stream, as a matter of fact. I fucking love that video.
That was a fun day, dude. Like we got lucky with that fog, like because we were there for a minute and it like rolled in like at the perfect time, you know, like we had to leave. Yeah, it was good.
Gravy's got one in the chat. Bone, if you want to pick your own, Doug, if you want to pick Bot, if you want to pick one and put it in the chat, we grab.
I put one in there.
Okay.
You can pick one.
Bots
Yeah,
is right
just
about
pick
mine.
one of mine. I'm good with anything really.
All right, cool. All right, this is. Oh my God. This is gravy, right? This is gravy.
Usually how it goes.
Right?
Yeah, this one's sick.
I know Bill's cringing watching this, just saying, get fucking closer to the ground.
This is still a good video, dude. That sunset's fucking good, dude.
Yeah, I'm not cringing, but you should fly closer to the ground.
I know we have those talks all the time. He's like, it's not a big skateboard bowl.
Well, the back of the golf course at that, like right before the river, is a mile. So I know that's a mile from where I park every time.
It's a sick spot.
Be right back, guys.
You should do another zine.
Definitely.
Once a war.
I love those zines.
Yeah, I ain't gonna make excuses. What? Who is this? The song?
Shit. I gotta look. Fuck. Why can't I think of it? Nutra Milk Hotel.
Okay, I almost said that. There's a few.
Well, you would have been correct, my
There's
friend.
a few bands that sound like that, but they were like one of the OGs.
Yep. I heard this song and I was like, "Fuck, this is perfect." And
Yeah.
now here it is.
I actually don't care for them, but I like it in this context.
That sky is dope as fuck.
Yo, I've been doing raw spins and lift off. That shit's fun, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm gonna try
Do
in
my
real
tricks.
life and try to do them clean.
Yes.
That's an underrated trick, really. Not enough people know about it.
Well, let's get it out there.
Yeah.
Do a challenge. Do a inverted raw spin
Oh,
challenge.
next week. Next
Yep.
week's challenge. Done.
Cool.
Next week's challenge.
Will you remind me about that, actually, please, Gravy?
I'll email you right now.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna text you.
You get, and I'll need a video example. I need a video example.
Yeah, he'll need a video
Okay,
reminding him of what he did.
Every morning at 1 p.m. when I wake up.
I'm gonna have Chris Penn spray painted on the sidewalk in front of your house.
There we go.
I was
Chris Penn
pissed
got
there
a
were no
tattoo
birds.
gun, I heard.
What?
Chris Penn got a tattoo gun. Tattoo machine,
Oh, wow.
excuse me. Tattoo machine.
Oh yeah, that picture looks sick.
I'm definitely gonna let him give me something.
What were you flying, Gravy?
That was the banger. That was the
banger.
bot AFX.
Yeah, it took the tree hit well, you can tell.
Oh yeah.
That's how
Oh,
those
I haven't
straggle
broke
stomper
anything.
arms take a tree hit.
Yep.
Bro, mine will fly for so fucking long. I put 6S rig on it. You know, it flies for fucking ever.
Dude, I had a 7-minute 5S pack the other day, like power looping and like kind of not really getting it, but you know, I was doing a couple things here and there that took some power. A 7-minute fucking pack.
How thick are the arms?
6 mil.
6 millimeter.
Thick with 3 C's.
Boy, 3 C's, yeah. The C's wouldn't fit on the packaging, they kind of like sloped off the package. Too thick.
Wicked. All right, next up we got the man leg bot grinder.
The man leg?
The man leg bot. The one leg bot. Wait, there's no. Oh,
Is he my other leg?
Is this him panhandling for money? No.
No, this is me giving stuff away. I'm giving you
Every
stuff.
video.
I'm just fucking with you.
Good luck.
I got gas in my veins right now. I'm feeling it. Hey,
Jesus.
I know you see me.
I love that new fusion camera.
That's awesome.
I know you see me. From far, boy. Feel so good, I might rock my sliders. Walk through the man and giving out high fives and make some big dirty rhythm for the riders. Drop a couple jewels for the miners. Can't forget the OGs and the old timers. Might go find me a couple fine diners. Couple trays and a couple appetizers. No, I don't drink appetizer. Feel so good, I might buy me a German whip with the ceiling gun. Make a turn and dip with the bass on max. Yeah, they heard my shit. Yeah, they heard my shit. Screaming, no CDs, no burn and skip. But the playlist there, I don't burn and rip. On the M25, yeah, swerve and slip. Yeah, swerve and slip. Took a bump in the car, rolled up, and they said, swear down. And I said, don't gas me. They said, fam, you're a star. Can I get a quick
There's two of those gaps, man.
Dude, you're fucking killing it, dude. You're fucking murdering.
I love this spot.
Yeah, we need this spot up at the scene. This is dope.
RIP to the fucking plane, though.
Feel so good, I might buy a new crep. So I look correct when I want to step. Hey, everybody looking like I don't pet. Tell him it's calm, no sweat. Might just pull out the 12-10 deck. Might tell my man, pull out the jet. I wanna go try, not try out to bet. I might go bed and forget. Feel so good, I might try a bit of camping. Feel so good, I might try a bit of lamping. Feel so good that I parked on a double yellow line and I don't mind if I get a clamping. More time I ain't ramping. Don't watch that right now, it's a fan thing. Yeah, they call me Rasket and I do the damn thing. And it's still big that it's stanking. Took a bump in the car, rolled up.
My box of cockroaches.
Yo, is this when you lost the GoPro on the roof?
Nah, this was just the other day.
Is that your wildfire?
Yeah, dude. You know what?
That's so hot, dude. I need that.
Yo, when I got to this spot, I ripped the full pack on the whole thing, no antennas. I landed and I was like, why are my antennas in my bag? Oh shit. Fucking dude, it was great fucking video. Like I had no idea. It was crazy.
I'm getting one for sure.
They are not too fucking shabby, man.
Yeah, for $90.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got a big old fan to power now too. You know, so keep that in mind. Bring extra goggle batteries.
Holy shit.
Was that a touch and go or a flyby?
He did.
Good stuff.
Fuck yeah.
That was the only day I've gone to that bando and I didn't come back like pissed off hating FPV because I broke everything.
Hey, next time I come down, remind me to have more than one quad that kind of works that I have to fix the morning of going flying with you, and that
That's
way
like-
we'll go rip that spot.
That spot's like you want to go there your last day visiting, you know what I mean? You don't want to go there your first day because everything will break. But even if you're just cruising around, like going through the holes, all of a sudden you'll hit something and you'll fly into the wall and break the motor or something.
Like a fucking plane.
Yeah, it's like or a plane. Yeah, that she
Whenever,
ran into me.
whenever I
yesterday, though.
bring more than one quad, I never break shit. But whenever I bring one quad, I fucking destroy shit.
Right?
That's
Even
how
if I
goes.
plan on only on flying one quad, I still bring two.
Well, I usually just have 2 quads running at a time, 3, and then I'm just chasing parts and it's expensive. 2 quads at a time is easy to maintain, so I kind of
I
try
got
to stick with that.
three 5-inch in my Cinewhoop right now that I've been running, but
Yeah, having a lot of quads is hard upkeep, and for me anyway.
Well, what?
Hey, how do you like?
I gotta have one that doesn't get fucked up, smashing it into trees, so I can trust it fucking flying on the mountain, you know.
That's my Stormer is my nice one that like it doesn't do rolls or anything. It just for
It doesn't
for
do
flying
rolls.
smooth. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck your 7-inch.
That one doesn't do rolls either.
7-inch.
No, the 7-inch, the 7-inch does this. It goes out and it goes back, and that's it. That's its only job is to go out far and come back. That's what I do with it. And no, it's fucking
really
fun
hard.
as shit. And you know what? I still own it. I still own it because that's what I do with it.
This dude power loops his 10-inch like it's nothing.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lap. We do our lap. One of the parts of the lap is a power
loop.
loop, just because.
You should see old Red 5.
Do you have
Yeah,
at the end for all the pilot videos?
No, I was waiting. We were conversating. All right, we got Bone up next.
My bad.
And we got Shmurda on after that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, is this the video, Brian?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, you were so psyched when you hit me up about this.
Oh, well, no, this is a different one. This is like one from just the other day, but this is about a mile out or so. The last one was way out there. It's actually the first time I ever flew at this place.
Dude, flying into the sun like that, with trees like that, it's sketchy sometimes. They'll pop up out of nowhere.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
It's a dope spot, Brian.
Right.
I love ripping freestyle, but there's something about this fucking getting cruising.
Yo, yeah, mid-range mountain surfing, bro.
Yeah, it's sick. I got to do it my first time last year, man.
You just got to trust your gear.
Trust your gear, fly BQE.
Yep.
I feel like it's every FPV pilot's dream to Matty flip a bridge like that.
Right?
Yeah, certainly my wet dream.
Currently one of mine. Yeah.
I love that I've never been to Oregon and I've seen this bridge so many times.
Yeah.
Right?
Just enough to taunt you.
Yeah.
It's just another aspect of FPV. You learn
Dude,
There's so many cool spots up here.
Hell yeah. Beautiful,
Dude,
dude.
we got a badass bridge like that, but it's got a train track underneath it and then a car bridge underneath it.
Yes, I want to go to that. That's another one on my bucket list.
Red Cliff, yeah, it's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us tonight, but this is Pimp Hop.
Murda kills it. Jesus.
Yeah.
He really does. He shreds.
Yep.
So fast.
Straight out of Vegas.
And he's humble as shit too. It's great.
Yeah, he's a cool ass dude.
Multi-talented.
I'm gonna smoke a bowl in honor of him because you know.
You got to smoke too. Smoke one for me in honor
Right.
of him.
His rib squeak video is what got me to buy the rib squeak.
Is that a BQE wing?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not.
When do you start doing foamies, Bill?
I don't know, man. I need more space for that.
Wait a minute, is this a wing video, Vice?
Yeah, that's his most. All his new videos are him rocking his. I would turn off the volume if anything. You did.
Turn off the volume and say it's a quad.
I can send you.
Where's his yacht?
Quad video.
Yeah, find a quad video.
Yeah, I will send you the video. I'll send you the video that got me to buy the Rip Squeak. It's a little bit older, but it's.
What is this overlay on this thing?
The GoPro overlay.
That's a GoPro overlay?
What? From what?
You leave a GPS on and then you can do this.
Send it.
Oh no shit.
Send that in Zoom, please, Vince.
What?
In Zoom?
You should kill the volume on this wing video.
I didn't know that.
Who's gonna talk shit out?
No, it's just
I'm just playing.
Holy shit! I didn't know that you could get like ground speed with your fucking Hero 8. That's awesome. Turning that on right now. Fuck all my footage.
Yeah, you can get all sorts of telemetry data, and some of the EMU guys are working on integrating the gyro from the quad into Real Steady for the Hero 8.
Bro, the EMU flight guys need to do the GoPro frame overlay in the OSD.
Oh, with like a little USB cable.
No, like just to where okay, imagine you're looking through your FPV cam. The OSD shows where your GoPro's framed at.
Doesn't the brain do that?
All right, so this is his Rip Squeak video. It's a do-over. This is
true.
Yeah, so this video is what got me to buy the Rip Squeak. I was like, oh, this thing rips. Like, I want that.
What size is this?
It's
That's
a 3
inch.
inch.
It is a 3 inch. Okay. I was gonna say I thought I said a 2 inch. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I gotta get more batteries for mine. I have one.
Yeah, he shreds it on the racetrack too.
Yep.
Yeah, he did really well in Vegas a couple weeks ago. Brought home 3rd place in the 3 inch class. And,
Oh yeah.
Qualified pretty high in the 5 inch as well.
Dude, but Dolma was there, so it's fucking hard to beat
Yeah,
that kid.
he came to collect his money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, he is ripping this little thing.
Yeah.
Man.
And this is not a Speed Freak, right? This is the stock.
This is the stock. I believe this was his Emax setup, so this probably has 1108 Emax motors on it.
Exactly.
3 inch Avon props, I think, is what he was running. I mean, he just pushes them so hard. Like, watch his battery voltage.
Yeah.
He runs it down to 3.4.
He runs an
3.2.
850.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an 850 battery as well. So it's not like a very small battery.
The guy just has a high clock rate, like a hummingbird, you know?
Yep.
He knows where he's going to go before he's even ready to go there. It's amazing watching him fly.
And it's so smooth. Like, there's no correction or anything in post. It's DVR footage. I mean, what you see is what you get. And
you can't
it's
hide
just
shit.
Speed.
If you like raw footage, right?
I love it. I mean, for me, it gives me more feedback to work with to figure out how I can improve the frames. I mean, DVR footage makes me very happy. I know that everyone loves to watch the GoPro footage.
His flying's so good, you forget it's DVR.
Yeah.
That shit's just smooth as fuck.
Little turtle out.
I couldn't fly with all that OSD on. That's the only thing.
That's not that much.
Oh, I love OSD.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Dude, I want nothing.
Is that his telemetry on the left for his radio?
Just throttle position.
Oh, that's just like what he goes to 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's
fire.
Yeah. He's got some great.
And that's why I bought a Rip Squeak.
It's dope.
Hell yeah.
He does a lot of long range.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pimp Hop.
Shout out to fucking Pimp Hop.
Shout out, man.
Yeah.
I wish Chase could have been here tonight, but I think he had something going on.
In case you're wondering, well, this is the Speed Freak version. This is mine of that particular quad.
Pulling out Speed Freak.
Ah, yeah. I just pulled it. Mine's got LEDs in it. Yeah.
Mine's in a superior TPU
color. We have this.
Yeah, Vince's is a really nice build. I like that. I mean, Chad too. I got to see you rip it out here when you came out.
Yeah.
So quiet too. Your build is quiet.
It is. It actually is.
That's really what I think is great about the Rip Squeaks is, and anything in that class really, is that it makes so little noise. It doesn't scare people. I've like people come up to me like want to play with it. The kids want to hold it. You know.
Except that lady trying to do yoga classes that came over. And this lady she came up, she marched across the field to tell us that she didn't like the fact that we were flying because she was trying to do a yoga class on the other side of the field. And then she was like,
but it was just her and her boyfriend laying on the grass. They weren't actually doing yoga.
That was the class.
I was like, I know.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to teach him.
I wish I would have had the 10-inch that day. I would have gave him something to be scared of. Fuck. We're flying like Rip Squeaks, and Bill's flying his 3-inch, and I think I might have had my 6. Might have had the 6 with me. I don't remember. And
One way or another, she definitely was looking for the 10-inch.
And I had she was definitely looking for the 10-inch. I had the fucking.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
I had the bot with me when we were testing it, and then I had the he's got the web page. Have you guys heard about BQE.io?
Hey, it's been awesome. I'm gonna hop off though. I gotta hang.
Yeah, we're wrapping. Chris, thank you.
I gotta go myself.
We are
also. I'm gonna jump in on Chris is leaving. So
we are
great to see both of you guys
wrapping. Yes. Thank you, everyone.
I love you.
Does anybody have anything to add? I love you too. We all love you. Anybody? Bill, you're
Go to BQE.io.
Yeah, it's really great to see
check
both
out
of you guys.
BQE.io.
Yeah, BQE.io.
Yeah, Chris, hit me up before you come out to Cali so we can plan something.
Yeah, man, for sure. Catch you guys later.
All right, take it easy, Chris.
Travel safe, Chris. See you out there. All right. Well, guys. Bye, Doug. We love you. I guess that's a wrap. Anybody else got anything to add?
I just want to say that this has been great, and watching these videos of you guys, it's awesome to see my team all together like this. And it makes me really proud to have all you guys as part of BQE. So,
well, we're truly.
Oh, dude, it was fucking awesome coming on, Bill. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man, dude, I'm fucking stoked that you're on. Is this your first live stream?
Second, I think.
No,
I
think it's the second.
This is my third live stream, I believe. But I mean, it's only the second live stream that happened on the same day as going to Pyroflip, which is also a weird coincidence. Because the last time didn't turn out so good. But
I mean, technically, we live streamed that Corona giveaway the day before you left.
Yeah, that's true too.
So
that's 4.
That's 4.
Yeah. But I'm sure there'll be more to come.
Well, guys, we can't thank you enough, man, for joining us, and you know my feelings. So, Artie, you want to add? Are you muted? You're muted, Artie.
Yep.
Artie's muted. He's over there gabbing away.
He took my bit. Jesus.
Got me. Caught me slipping. No, thanks, guys, so much for coming through, man. I mean, it means so much to hang out with y'all and listen to you guys, because I certainly watched your videos and see your feedback on the frames and all that. It's just awesome. And like I said, all the feels. Thanks.
Well, word. All right, I'm going to get ready to drop us out of here. Excuse me. Thank you, each and everyone that's hung in here with us tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I just wanted to drop you this, and we love you, and peace.
Thanks for having me.